I'm here today outside of Southall Townhall, where we've just missed a demonstration in which those who were demonstrating are doing so against the council's current plans to lease off the building. Now, the council decided to do this back in September of 2017, and as far as we have it, none of the local community groups were actually, they weren't involved in the consultation process. Now, joining me today, I have Hasib Baines, who... Firstly, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Hasib Baines and I'm the chair of Southall Community Alliance.
And why do you feel that none of the local community groups were consulted on this matter, given that this building dates all the way back to the 1840s when it was explicitly given to the local authority on the basis that it would be for the community's purpose and use?
Well, I think if they had consulted, they would have got the answer. The answer that they didn't really require and wanted to hear, which was this town hall is not for sale.
And if this building were to be leased off, what would that mean to the community exactly?
Well, it's the last civic building, the last secular space that everybody in Southall can call their own, will lost forever. Mm-hmm. It was, as you say, a gift to the people of Southall in 1867 by Lady Jersey in the reign of Queen Victoria. Mm-hmm. And here we are, moved into the 21st century, and we're getting rid of the last space. So Ealing Council has sold every single thing, every building it owned in Southall. It is not right. Different buildings, as I said, in Southall have been sold. We had a Fenner Brockway Centre here, massive sports centre, where if you go down the road now, it's a big superstore. Mm-hmm. Supermarket is there, huge market, and it was sold. We've had community centres sold, we had the library sold, we had a local hospital that was actually a donation. We had 2 girls come from New Zealand recently, crying their eyes out because they come to see the building their ancestors has given as a gift to Southall, to look after those injured in the First World War, to be looked after. There were beds placed in there, he had given that, and they sold that as well. So, they came all this way only to be so disappointed that the building now, there are flats on there, which the council again has sold. This is the last building remaining.
It's so unfortunate that we were not able to capture the demonstration on camera, because honestly, being inside there, it really filled you with a sense of energy, just seeing people of all walks of life from the local area who in unison, they really want to see this building preserved for the people. I think that was a thing of beauty. Now, one thing that stands out in particular, in more recent times, in 1979, relatively recent times if you will, the National Front, the far right-wing group, they wanted to make use of this building. Now, as you're fully aware, the local community stood up to them and disallowed them from doing so. However, what ensued was a battle between these two groups in which hundreds of people were arrested, and one individual in particular, Blair Peach in fact, the well-known activist, sadly lost his life. Now, you could then very well say that this building has a legacy of standing up to fascism and also of equality. Do you feel that despite this building not being demolished, if its communal purpose were to be sold off, do you feel it would somehow diminish that legacy?
It would, because what it demonstrated in 1979 was that the uniqueness of Southall. Southall people stood together. I was there on 1979, 23rd April 79, and witnessed it, and part of that. There are people living today that are still traumatized by those events. I think smack in the face for those people. The flag that's gone up, the people's flag as we called it today, actually captures all of that. And it's there to say people are united in one single voice, that we will win this. We want the council to listen. For 18 months we've been pleading with them. Please do not sell this building. Talk to us. They say it's run down, we can't afford it. We can't afford it. It's making, according to them, about £6,000-7,000 loss a year. The roof needs repair of 70,000. I went on radio once about 3-4 months ago. Before I'd left the station, builders were coming on air, we'll come and repair it free of charge. We're saying to them, let the community run it. Whatever additional income it generates, you can plough back into Southall. That's all we're asking them to do. Give us a chance to run it for the people of Southall, and the income it makes from whatever we can, and we can do it. We know we can do it.
I think that's a rather heartfelt point there, actually. The fact that local builders and workers were actually willing to give their time free of charge to actually help maintain this building. That's and it shows just how valuable this is to the local community. Yep. One point I wish to draw upon is, do you feel that perhaps many of the local councillors, despite being local councillors, don't fully appreciate this history. Maybe they don't live in the area or they're new to the area. Do you think that there's maybe an issue there, that they don't fully appreciate the history?
Oh, I think they do. I think that the majority of them have been a number of years, but they have other interests, and this is what people are raising doubts and concerns about. What interests are they? When you're selling Southall Townhall for mere 2.2 million for a lease of 250 years, when a single shop down the Broadway here costs over that. One shop. Look at the size of this building, and it goes back. And they say, it smacks like a sale of convenience. They've already come to some arrangement to give the car park up to the local temple. The building is up there, which is supposed to be of community use, next to the temple. But no other member of a community other than the Hindu community has ever been allowed to use it or has used it. So this, when they say, oh, it'll be used for the community, it will not. It'll be lost forever for future generations.
I don't think it's very far-fetched to say that it smacks of offence to the local community.
It does.
The fact that they're willing to sell this building off for as much as just a shop down the road.
Exactly.
To be honest.
And what does that? That says this deal does not feel right.
And now, as you may imagine, many of our viewers who are obviously from the borough are going to be outraged upon finding this out, particularly when, as you've just done, many of the details are revealed to them. What would you advise for people at home watching to do if they want to get involved with this campaign to help preserve this wonderful, historic, Grade 2 listed and, if I might add, magnificent building?
I think it's more than just the building itself. As you said, it's a symbol of building. It's a symbol. What it symbolizes is, first of all, to come to the building here. Every Monday there's a meeting at 6:30. If not in between, come and see our staff, the Southall Community Alliance. Come and speak to Janpal Basran, our manager here. Come and speak to Babi Kapoor, she's a receptionist. Come and register your interest in there. More people, because the councillor simply say, oh, nobody complains. That's perhaps why they don't consult, because they feel, oh well, people don't bother. Even though there's election coming, that's the only time we'll matter to them. I think we need to remind them that we matter now. And before they go into Parda in March, they make a decision. Pull it, take it back off the market in people's interest. There's no shame in making a right call. It's wrong. You made a wrong call, put your hands up. It was a wrong call. Make the right call in the interest of the people. Put their political interest above everything and make a decision which benefits the entire community. That's what we appeal to them, and that's what we need everybody to get involved and get on to their councillors and say, we need you to make a call for the people of Southall and not for yourselves.
Well, what I hope is that our coverage actually helps your case. It helps this cause, it helps bolster it, and it helps get through what we want to get done for the community at the end. Also, for those at home, please go to the comment section, sound off. We want to hear what you think. Equally, go to our forum and, sound off there too. We've got a large crowd around us right now. Otherwise, I'm James Challoner. This is Exposure Box TV. Thanks for watching.